moment of my life holds me excited. I will fly away to reach the heights I've ever dreamed beneath the sun. No sense of time and space, anticipation of your light holds me excited. Pulsating waves, and in the haze of morning light, I feel praised. Sailing through my story, shaping my history. 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 The precious moments of my life holds me excited. The meditation of my dreams holds me delighted. I will fly away to reach the heights I've dreamed beneath the sun. Sailing through my story, sharing my history. Sailing through my story, sharing my history.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another stream. I was just kind of like getting ready for because I kind of felt like today. I knew that there were rehearsals going on today, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I thought like, oh, maybe they're not going to share them with us. And now, like, just as I was getting ready to actually go fall asleep, I noticed that they're up the rehearsal video. So sorry for keeping you waiting a little bit. I just had to make sure that I could wake up and be ready to actually check out what's happened today and see the rehearsals basically. Um, I think the entire first semifinal has rehearsed today, which is kind of exciting times, I'd say. And yeah, we're gonna check out the whole thing. I haven't seen it yet, so it's gonna be interesting. Of course, I've seen the images and the clips from TikTok from a few days ago, but it's the first time seeing them with the camera cuts and like how they're intending to make it look on the night basically, and when they perform it. There are photo galleries too, Vlad says. Yikes, I wasn't prepared for that. New ones. Oh, we can't be here forever. I'm a bit like I'm not gonna say upset, but it's been a long wait, of course, to get these rehearsals up and available. Uh, However, all of it is just in one video, so it's gonna be very quick to just go through. I don't know if you want me to just check it like as a whole at first, or if we're gonna pause between every song. What do you prefer? Let me know. I'm gonna make sure that I have the chat up on my phone as always. I haven't really prepared everything just yet in for this stream because well, I never do, and you know that. Just watch the YouTube video. Okay, so no pauses, no talking. We're just gonna watch it. Um, let's start right away. Yeah, we will. We will. Don't you worry. Oh, sorry. Um, Yeah, of course. It's always like exciting times this time of year when the clips are up. Okay, so we got as a whole, and then pause, and let's talk between, pause between. It's a bit split, the opinions here. I'm not sure. Okay, there's a lot of pause coming on here now. Um, don't pause and then talk later. Um, so like everyone has split opinions apparently. Vlad says sound is terrible though, so prepare for that. Okay, I will keep that in mind. That's very unfortunate though. But if there are new images as well, maybe I should prepare that on a different page as well. I guess you go to photos on latest here. Okay, yeah, we got all of the images here. Should we check the images first or the rehearsal clip first? I guess the clips first because we're getting a lot of pause, so I'm gonna pause. Sorry for everyone who wanted me to not pause, but I will pause between all of them because a lot of people want that. Simple as that. Democracy. I think we'll do the images afterwards. We're just gonna check the clips right away because that's what we're here to see, right? And then half of you can just leave when we see in the clips, and I'll talk to the rest of you who want to stick around for the images. Um, so yeah, clips. People want clips first. We're gonna do clips first. Let's see. I'll prepare everything. I got the link up. I think that there's like what's it called? It's not only the rehearsal clips. It's also like some talking between or stuff like that. We'll see what it's gonna look like. Honestly, like I don't know why I sit here and speculate about what I think will happen. I haven't seen it, so of course with this we're gonna have it in full screen. So now I'll have to drag back the full screen like that. I'm terribly sorry, but both the chat and my face will cover parts of the screen when we see the rehearsals here. But uh, but yeah, I hope you're fine with that. Apparently, vocals seem off from a. I mean, we're gonna notice. We'll notice that when we get to it. I think we're just gonna get right to it. Honestly, um, backing vocals loud. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna get right into it, and I'll notice all of that on my own. I hope the audio level. Wait, let's make sure the audio levels. I hope it's good. I hope the audio levels are good. Yell at me if they aren't, but I hope they're good. And I hope you can hear me talking over. Or, well, I was going to pause anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. We're just going to get right to it. And yeah, let's check it out.
Hi guys, it's Rylan and I am here in the arena in Liverpool. And yes, you are right. I have
How
got
are your teeth
exactly
so
what
wide?
you've come here for.
Oh
Video
my.
clips of today's rehearsals. Now, this is the first time that you guys at home are going to see exactly what our performances are going to look like coming through your TV screens. Now, each of our acts this year have chosen 30 seconds of their performance to share with you, and we're about to see them. It's been quite a busy day. There's a lot to go through. So guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
All right. Okay, this looks great. Um, I'm loving it. This part, like at the end here, it doesn't really become very clear, but this lighting is fantastic. Like how it's lit up the entire catwalk in these orange colors, and then as well with the spots like peeking out like this. I'll just turn off the volume and we can see like the movement. Also, like the panning of the camera here. Obviously, like first of all, wait, this is a great shot overall. Like it's really like panned from a very low angle to really make it look quite like from a distance, and it's zooming out a little bit. But the lighting is honestly really incredible here. I like the warm tones of it a lot. And then particularly when everything is lit up on the catwalk here, and it's actually pans out from this shot. It's moving away from it while the final chorus hits in, and the light show kind of all goes a bit crazy all over here. Um, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Also, like the blue here, of course. Like this is, I think it's similar to what we had in the Norwegian national final, right? But it looks just more massive. Um, these are great spots. The blue looks great for this. Um, yeah, I can understand if people think the vocals didn't really sound that great, but I understand if all of them had issues with the vocals, maybe it's like a mixing issue or sound technical issues. Because it's not the most convincing vocal performance, but it's still pretty damn good. So I'm not worried, and it looks really great in my opinion. If you're expecting the artist to be going 100%, then you're going. Yeah, I mean we're not. But it's still a rehearsal. We're still just preparing for everything here. Um, but yeah, I'm really fond of the concept of this, and I think the lighting is really great. All right.
It's on, you would go outside, the very first strike, to save a night. Your king got some indoor shoes that he offer you, that you ever go attention. Ain't slave to another moment have been too much. It's real.
This was good. This one feels like finished, in my opinion. Everything is just the way that it should be. It's very massive with the backdrops, especially. The vocals sound incredible here, really. Or well, it's not like a very song that demands a lot of vocal show off stuff, but he sounds pitch perfect throughout this whole clip. So I'm very fond of that. Nice how they've kind of what do you call it, like evolved this graphic. I think it's kind of been enhanced a little bit for the larger scale here. Nice as well how they play around with the car a little bit, how they're like lowering, like they're like what's it called, like slowly lowering down to sit down in the car. Nice charisma. Everything's just really fun here. Some decent cuts here as well. Like it's we have some different cool angles. A bit of like hectic camera cuts that come after each other, but it's really like focused on particularly just party vibes, I'd say. I think Malta have done a great job with this one. I mean, we kind of knew what to expect with choreography and such from the national final, but I think they've just taken everything that worked there and just enhanced it and actually make it work on a bigger stage because that could have absolutely been a tricky part of everything as well to actually make this work. Fun LEDs in the background as well. Yeah, I'm not like entirely sold on the text on the screen, but I guess it kind of works for this kind of arcade vibe that it has going for it. It's very retro in that sense. Also, really like the concept of if we take a look at this, like from this shot, basically when it starts from fight, it's all one take, right? No, it's not. But from okay, from here, so it's a pretty long take here where he's moving around and actually making like all of the what's it called, like intensity on stage coming across in one shot until the next part of the song kicks in where it changes again. It's kind of a nice what's it called? It's an effective way of working with the camera here, I'd say, and actually allowing it to be a longer shot. And then, of course, like this segment when the final chorus kicks in, it's just such a great choreography to it. Um, and like the lighting works so well with it as well, of course, and the backdrop. Yeah, it's well put together. I think it fits perfectly. We want to see more, of course. We want to see the blue segments in the early part of the song as well. But the red works really well in the performance. It's very similar. We kind of knew what to expect from the national final here as well, and then it just got evolved. So looks really great. Looks really great, I'd say. The texts are actually like it's a fun detail. It's something that you will remember it by as well. Of course, the song on its own is obviously very very unique, so you'll remember it anyway. This is the first time I didn't even notice. There's a health bar for the boss or something. I didn't even notice first time we checked it. It's like constantly there. Is it? It starts up there when he starts pulling these tubes out, I guess. You call them tubes? I don't know. But yeah, it's intense, it's charismatic, it's a fun performance altogether. Massive song, great light show, great performance to it. Love the smoke as well, of course. Yeah, everything's good. Love it. Uh, Groot, have you noticed that the camera scripts are a bit slow this year? They're not too dynamic with the cuts and camera movement. Um, I don't mind it. So far, I haven't minded it. Uh, for Malta, they did a lot of cuts. Um, it's not something that I've thought about. We'll see. Use, but yeah, it's the perfect kind of opening to it. I'm just worried a little bit about what's it called? I'm just worried a little bit about like people actually tuning out of it a little bit because they're kind of crazy on stage, I guess. Like they're moving around a lot for um I mean, people will just think like, "Oh, this is a bit strange." I think, especially like this constant movement and jumping around. I'm not sure if the general audience will really enjoy this, but I think it works quite nicely, and I like how they're incorporating with the lamps, especially like when you have this, you have the bass player and he's like surrounded with the lamps, and they're incorporating the lamps into what's it called? They're incorporating them into the performance, so they're actually using them as devices in the performance. Uh, but yeah, exactly. JH3, it's basically identical to the NF. Yeah, this part is especially staging wise. Vocals sound great. But yeah, I'm very unsure about this jumping around on the guitarist and the bass player. Like people could absolutely be put off by that. Clip choice is bad. Yeah, maybe. Itai Sulima, can you watch Israel? Mate, we're getting there. Like there are 15 songs. Settle down. Um, but yeah, okay. A lot of people are very pessimistic about the camera shots. Some pessimism about the lighting. I don't think the lighting is bad. Everything is flooded in studio light. We haven't got to Sweden, Switzerland, Czech Republic yet, so I guess that's why. But lighting's good on Latvia, of course, with these warmer tones. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen later on in the song. Um, yeah, looking forward to seeing this in full. But of course, the concept is great with it.
Perdida numa outra dimensão. Toda eu sou uma grande confusão. O pai fazer a boca seca eu saiba. Que te fazer amor pra mim assim não dá. Porque parece que nem sou mais eu. Ai coração, ai coração, ai coração. Diz-me lá se és meu.
Okay. Portugal obviously like she is what do you call it? What do you say? She is the moment. Is that what you say? She is absolutely phenomenal. What a performer. But Portugal dropped the ball. I will die on this hill that they messed up with basically having no props whatsoever. It's a theatrical performance without props, and when you look at it like this, if we just look at it, I'll mute it. If we just look at it, there's nothing really like it's a lot of choreography, but especially like when you do the wide shots, there's nothing going on. It's very flat. It's a flat kind of performance. The choreography has to do all of the work, but it's really unfortunate because the concept was absolutely there to actually make something that you'll remember in the stage layout. If you remove the performers, it's like the most basic kind of stage layout you got. The lighting isn't very interesting. There's really not a lot of intensity in anything going on behind them. they have to carry everything, and it's so unnecessary um, because the concept that they have kind of not requires, but it deserves to have more ambition being put into incorporation from external ideas like props and probably like what's it called, um, also like something to interact with, I guess. It's a lot of performance, but looks very devoid of any substance, really. I'm not really getting that much enjoyment out of watching. I'm getting enjoyment out of listening and getting dragged into it. Um, but just watching it, I get equal amount of enjoyment just listening to the song, I think, and I get much more enjoyment from watching the Festival de Canção performance. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I mean, Portugal is one of my top five favorites this year, and yeah, this performance really needs audience. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe the audience will add a layer to it. But if we just take from the clip that we've seen, it looks a bit empty on stage. Like it looks really empty on stage, unfortunately. Not impressed. Sorry, Portugal. And the camera work, like I thought, like if you didn't really incorporate the props, then you would have done something effective with the camera work to actually make it really a very connected experience. Like as you as a viewer, you get really invested into it. Like they play around with the cameras, a lot of close-ups, and actually, what do you call it? Like this breaking fourth wall kind of thing with actually interacting with the audience. Then, but it's mostly just wide shots, and it's a performance that you're seeing from the distance. Like a fly on the wall, and it's like this shot doesn't give anything. This could be any performance whatsoever. There's nothing creative being put to this. It's very unfortunate, I think. I would have loved for them to actually play around with the camera a little bit then, and actually have some movement for the camera on stage, maybe. Like I get that it would ruin the performance, but if you had like a camera guy walking around and actually giving the movement to the choreography to make it seem more intense and chaotic, because now we just see everything from a distance and it falls a bit flat in that sense, I'd say. Just my 2 cents on it. We're gonna move on to the next song.
Ai, coração, diz-me lá se és meu. Oh, life could be a long road, but at least you're not alone. Oh, we might be different, we might be unique. You might be a leader, I might be a freak, but we might be different. But under the falling sun, tonight we are one.
Again, not really too much interesting going on with the camera here. I mean, we obviously knew what the layout was gonna be with the golden. Like with all of the colors, we knew what we were gonna expect, and it looks kind of pricey and expensive, and it's a nice touch with the spiraling kind of pattern here, and in core, like what you call in interacting with the effects here. I mean, nice colors. It looks pretty massive and grand and such, but if we just go from the camera cuts and everything, it's very uninteresting to look at, I'd say. We don't really have those shots that actually show off the grandness of the stage to really make it seem anthemic. We have a lot of close-ups of them interacting on stage, and I'm not really sure. Like I don't know what this shot doesn't give me a lot, honestly. Um, a lot of close-ups on the drummer. I mean, it's nice that he gets to do his little fills in a close-up, but yeah, I'm not convinced by this. It feels very like by the books camera work. Um, Unfortunate, but yeah. They've got some good ideas in here, but I'm not really floored by this. So I'm not gonna sit here and predict or anything, but I'm not having high hopes for Ireland. But they may surprise. They may surprise. We'll move on to Croatia now.
Mama ljubila morona,
Mama, ljubila morona. Mama, ljubila morona. Frajdanina, Armageddon.
All right. I mean, it looks very simple on its own. Nice, fun little detail with the shoes being thrown out of them like this on the effect. I mean, it's a nice, like, clever little detail. It's fun. Um, but overall, it doesn't really seem like it doesn't really give me a lot. And it's not like they're very. I mean, of course, it's early rehearsals, but it's not like they really sync with what's going on stage as well. Like, I think it's a bit of a strange usage of the effects on the floor here. No, not at that part. Wait, it was earlier. Um, let's see. It was like when they moved out. Yeah, all of these effects. Nice, like how they stand in synchronization, but it doesn't really feel very polished, which is not, of course. But yeah, I'm mm, I mean, it is what I expected it to look like, kind of. It's nice how they have the incorporation of of the floor, having all of this movement in it. I mean, they have fun at least. Um, it's just it's a bit of a strange, like how the colors just kind of fade out, like they stop coming and then there's just nothing. Also sounded a bit like the balancing between the vocals. There's like a guy in the left ear that sounds really loud. Like the guy in the left ear is very loud. So yeah, something you have to look into, I guess. We'll move on. We'll move on. I don't have a lot to say to Croatia, if I'm completely honest. But they've got some fun little choreography here as well, which people will remember for sure. Okay. What's going on?
Guys, there you go. We are halfway through. I hope you're enjoying them as much as we are loving seeing them here in the arena. Should we see some more? Go on then.
That was so unnecessary. What? It was so unnecessary. Of course, like as I've said before, I really like the color grading that this one has. The red and the black works really well. I think the smoke effects are quite nice. I love the flares here early on, how they're falling from the roof. Basically, it's a neat touch. I think that's a very neat touch. A lot of effort going into the choreography here. It's not polished yet, but of course it's still early days. They need to polish the choreography, like the synchronization of it a little bit, and actually make sure that it comes across convincingly, I'd say. But I like the concept that they got going for it here. This has a great shot, I'd say. Um, and this is a great like effective choreography to do on the hit. Can I sync the pause? It's nice how they drop down like that, and also how the lighting becomes brighter there, right for the ending there. I think it looks good. I'm what's it called? I'm optimistic about Switzerland. I think it looks really good. They just need to polish up the details and really make sure that it comes across convincingly in the performance as well. But it's good. It's good. actually a great incorporation of how to use a face on the screen, I'd say, because the way that it's being transitioned onto the screen, along with with the unicorns on the sides, that's such a great transition. How everything is rising from the bottom, and this kind of with the effect work on it as well. I like that a lot, and how it also works in synchronization um, with the movement on stage and the choreography. Obviously, like the first part, it's a dance break. I understand that it's impressive, but it's a dance break, and we kind of knew what to expect. She's very convincing, has great chemistry with the camera as well. That's a good part. But when I really think that it kicks into gear is actually when the backing dancers come in, and this like you get the intensity from this. You get so much energy. Everything is rising from the backdrop. There's something new going on all the time. Lights going hectic, changing up the choreography. We got the running unicorns now, changing up the choreography again, and ending it with a pose there. It's a great like small clip of the dance break there as it turns into the B section. I think works really well. I'm sure this will work wonders. I really like this section honestly when all of the backing dancers come in as well, and the effect work on the backdrops. It's very what we call like well thought out, like how they want the backdrop to actually be incorporated into the performance, and I think they pull that off really well. So yeah, good to see from Israel. I think they have a great shot. We didn't really get a lot of the song there. We don't know how she's gonna sound based on this clip, because of course it was just the dance break part of the song. But we understand why they picked it. I just hope like like for Eurovision when they're gonna do the recap at the end that they're not just gonna pick the dance break. They're actually gonna pick a song, like a part of the song with actual vocals in it. Um, just my my wish, I guess. Moldova next. Let's see what that one's like. I'm excited about that one, of course. All right. It's not like the most eventful of parts from the song. I'd say like the lighting doesn't like what we've seen from the images. It's supposed to be very red. These are more like pale, like not pale shots from the performance, but it's not like the song at its most intense or the performance at its most intense. But the choreography is there. I love his chemistry with everyone on stage as well, and his charisma. I think he sells this song to absolutely incredible limits. Nice incorporation of the smoke, great choreography as well. As I said, the nice layout. We have a great kind of effect on the floor as well. It's a very nice kind of pattern that works as well. It kind of becomes like this hypnotic, what you call like hypnotic movement in the pattern as well. It's very neat, and I think it works really well with this circular stage that they have going out from the catwalk. Um, yeah, really well arranged this one. Um, Love the small hints of purple here earlier on as well. You just want to see all of this, of course. Seems like there's some creativity being put into every ounce of the performance and every second of it. So everything works really well. Hoping they're gonna do. Wait, it's one shot this part, right? No, it wasn't. Sorry, I didn't think of that part. But yeah, I'm hoping that they're gonna do some clever camera details here and there. Um, and actually incorporate the cameras as part of the not the props but a part of the performance as well to actually incorporate the camera as a tool. But it looks good. I'm excited about Moldova. I want to see it in full, of course. it's good, but I'm just comparing like what we saw in Melodifestivalen. Um, okay, we're moving on. Please don't be don't be annoying towards each other in the chat. Just don't. Okay. Uh, Obviously, we know what we saw in Melodifestivalen. The coloring here is a bit different. If I remember correctly, it had more brighter tones in Melodifestivalen, right? This is a very kind of dusty tone to everything. It's very sand-like in terms of its color and lighting, um, which I'm a bit confused by. Maybe it's just the way that this stage works, but I just kind of expected it to be more sheltered in light, but at the same time, I think that her kind of persona and her outfit and everything goes along with this coloring as well. It's just that you already have an image in your head of what to expect from the performance, and then the lighting is a bit different and altered here, but it still works. Yeah, I mean, I want to see it in full before I really make my mind up. But I feel like I was more clicking with it from the Melodifestivalen. But it's, I mean, it's the first time I see this. It's still early rehearsals. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be great regardless. But for now, I feel like there is a slight difference. Uh, Malphite was more fiery orange, if I remember correctly. That might be the case. That might be the case. I just get the feeling like this is a bit darker and like I think like dusty is kind of a feeling that I get from it. It looks a bit grayish, I'd say, and beige. But yeah, it's good. It's good. What's next? He sounds incredible. I love his voice so much. Wow. And finally, they actually, or what, finally, but thank goodness they actually moved their scarves or whatever away from the fretboard because that looked so stupid. This is wonderful. Wonderful layout. Love the camera work here and the playfulness of the editing. It's very effective with how the cameras are also altered in height and in zoom and everything to actually make it give a different perspective in the same shot, and then it moves out like that. Wonderfully alteration with the colors here. When he says love, everything goes a bit more red, it seems, in the background. That's a nice touch. And then leads into like this just the color palette here of the purple pink vibe and then the bright red one on the other side. It's so nicely divided, along with this kind of broken heart in the middle. Kind of creates a divide between the colors as well. It's very symmetrically pleasing. Um, I'm very fond of it. I'm very fond of the way it looks, and voice is just it just gives me chills. Honestly, it just has that really authentic and hollow tone in it. I want to listen to it again. We're gonna listen to it again. I'm gonna cry soon. I think he like they sound so good and it looks really great. It's an issue though because like how many songs can qualify from this semi? Not a lot, and I would love to see them go through. They this is really well put together. Really loving it. Um. Okay. Okay. What's next?
Не се страхувай, с другите сестри поплувай. Морето ни нямаме място за тези омрази. Пази, пази, не тъкувай. Хоп, дроп, момите не са нон-стоп на разположение.
The rap's good. The rap's really good. She sounds great. Like also how the colors changed during it. It's a nice transition as well. I think the chorus is a bit on the flat side, like background wise. I'd say it's very much like repeated of the same concept. It's just the hands rising and falling, very much. It's not a lot of interest going on there, and this movement on stage with choreography as well is rather static. Um, it's not an issue. I like the concept of the choreography, but I think that it becomes very much what do you call it, like one, not one notish, but you kind of get what I mean. I hope it's very much one of the same thing. A detail that I think is really good here is the backing vocals. I think they sound really great. They have a very distinct tone to them at the very back. Like those small parts, I don't know the lyrics, but the final part of every line, they like it feels like they're panned to the very back of the headspace, which gives it a very kind of ethereal tone to the whole soundstage, which I'm very fond of. It's like they're higher, like they're higher in harmony, so it adds a different layer to it. And I haven't really noticed this when listening to the studio cut. I don't think that's there in the studio cut, is it? Because I like they're very distinct here, and I understand if that could be a mixing mishap, but I really hope that it's not, because I think it adds a layer to the hook of this song. It's a very nice touch. Um, Not overly convinced by the performance as a whole in terms of its energy. The rap looks really great and has a lot of character to it as well, and she's very charismatic with the camera as well. But the hook I'm not entirely sold on. I'll be completely honest. Uh, but these are nice part, like as well with the choreography behind her here, with how everyone else is running and everything is lit down with the darkness kind of being the standout part. It's a good segment. Yeah, I like this part. It looks good as well.
I'm sorry, just human up, losing myself, but chasing high, burning daylight. I'm scared that I'm falling behind. I'm losing myself, but chasing highs, losing myself, but chasing high.
Okay, they got some work to do vocally, of course, but we're still rehearsal days. I don't really feel the synchronization between them here. Nice shots. These ones. How can I see them? These ones are good. How they're actually being separated like this, with only being shown one at a time in terms of the screen. Also like the transition from the wide shot from him and the close up to her. It's a nice like contrast to it as well. Shows off a little bit of drama. I like how they're staged like this as well. They're each covering one side and singing into the nothingness, basically. It's just a void in front of them, while in reality they're actually singing to each other as well. It's a nice touch. The part here early on where they're singing to each other, it's not really a lot going on with terms of the performance. Here they're looking away from each other for the high note. I'm not so sure. It's nice how they actually move away from each other after that. Smoke is decent, but there's not a whole lot going on stage here. I'd be a bit worried for this one, for its chances. Um, yeah, I'm not really like sold on the lighting either, to be honest. It's pitch black around here, which I don't have an issue with. It's lit up a little bit here, but very bright behind here. And for a shot like this, I don't think this is a very particularly good shot. Yeah, I'm not fond of this shot at all, to be honest. I think these shots are good, especially the close-ups, and this is a great shot. Um, but this one is not. I don't like the composition of this one at all. Like the angle is very strange as well. and it does not give the stage the credit that it deserves, I'd say. Um, yeah, let's move on to Finland. Not a lot more to be said on this one. They need to work a little bit vocally as well, but it's still rehearsal days. Great. Fantastic. Finland. Finland knows what they're doing. Love how the silhouette of him in the background is also being playful. It's not just his silhouette. Like what the part with the tongue, and you just give him this massively long tongue. It's such a funny detail that you could have just you just come up with it, and it's creative and it's fun. It's just one of these ideas that's out there, and it just adds a layer of fun and um what do you call it? Like the wackiness is just being bumped up to well, it was already way above 11, but you just stack onto all of these details. You just stack them on top of each other, and it just gets crazier and crazier until you can't comprehend it. You just sit back and you just enjoy whatever's being thrown at you. Love the way that the dancers are actually like they get a close up when the box is being opened there, um, like when it's happening there. It's great how they're actually focusing on them during the reveal, and they're actually going out right with a pose. Of course, like when you see this clip, you just want to keep watching it. You want to see what's happening, whatever afterwards. Also, wonderful detail with the silhouette behind him doing the headbanging with him as well. It's just such great ideas. I wonder if the entire performance will actually be like the silhouette layered with whatever he's doing. This is such a great shot as well. Like you just only see the top of his head through the smoke, but it kind of feels like the silhouette is doing exactly what he's doing, which is a great detail. Honestly, I think that's really fun. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, Finland, massive standout from these clips. You just want to keep watching it, of course. Like once you've seen this, you just want to keep watching whatever's going to happen after that. Okay, let's listen to what the white teeth guy wanted to say afterwards here.
Well, there you go, guys. That is your lot for today. They were good, weren't they? Really good. Make sure you come back tomorrow because I'm going to show you even more exclusive rehearsal footage. See you then.
All right. Yeah, what are the standouts from today? Of course, like last time, I said that Moldova was absolutely my standout from the images. From the clips, sorry if this looks incredibly, what do you call it, awful on stream when I'm just looking through the songs and just glimpses of the performance. I'd say Azerbaijan is the one that I enjoyed, like the most unexpected surprise, I guess, by just how good they sound as well. And the wonderful like color grading and everything, like the palette here is very lovely. I'd say Finland is probably the massive standout here. Great how they actually evolved the performance from the national final and made it even more grand. They know that they have a massive, banger on their hands that's actually gonna probably work really well with audiences all over. So they actually decided to invest all they could into it, and it shows. Um, very well, very well staged and very well planned out, and incredibly well executed. Um, Israel was good. Looking forward to seeing like the other segments of the song as well. I don't only want to see the dance break, but the dance break is well executed. Um, Sweden is good, of course, but I'm still a bit skeptical in terms of its comparison to the Melody Festival. Most disappointed with Portugal, possibly the Netherlands as well, but Portugal is like it's just such a shame because the song is among my five favorites from the entire year, and I just want it to be perfect, and I can't click with it. It's a me issue maybe, but I can't. Um, Latvia, I'm a bit skeptical with all of this guitar humping or whatever it is this guitarist was doing. Oh no, it was a bass player, wasn't it, who was starting to hump his bass or whatever. Yeah, this needs to stop. I'm sorry, but you're gonna my mom is gonna think, what is he doing? Why is he doing that? She's gonna sit and be skeptical without even listening to the song, and I know that many audiences could be the same. Um, Malta's good. Norway was good. Serbia was really good. Switzerland looked good as well. I'd be a bit worried for Czechia. Maybe not, but like I feel like it's a bit too much of the same thing, and it's not really that energetic and intense in terms of the performance. Feels very by the books, but lovely color grading and everything. But we'll see. I did enjoy the rap though. Uh, yeah. But all in all, like great performances all together. Like we really like we set the bar. You know, like just in general for Eurovision, we usually set the bar way too high, and then when we see everything, we get overly critical, or at least I do. I think that I even if something looks incredible and really good, I might be skeptical towards it and not that overly impressed because you just expect the best of the best to be in here. Probably like a thing that I'm thinking in general um, is probably like camera shots. I don't think there are that many fun ideas with the camera so far. Which ones have we even had that like actually done something interesting with the camera? I think Latvia has a great cinematography to it. These are great shots, like how the how you don't have to just go central and wide. You actually have a concept and a purpose with each shot, which really feels very poignant with the Latvian performance. I think that's a massive strength that they have. I'd say Serbia had this long one take as well, like or one shot or whatever you call it, like when the camera was just following him around for a pretty long time. That's a good camera technique incorporated here as well. A lot of cuts in Malta, which might work with the energy of the song. Of course, Netherlands had this part with how they were being distanced from each other, which was quite nice. In particular, with this shot as well, I like that. Um, Finland did it really well when they opened the cage, and also at the part, I'd say, with the headbanging. Where is that? And this is good, and the of course the tongue, how they're actually like panning out wide to make it visible and good details. But I think the headbang is probably like the best shot. Like you can actually see the grownness of everything. It's very nicely synchronized as well. This is a good shot. Um, and Azerbaijan had this creative little thing going on here early on as well. And well, this isn't really due to the camera. It's mostly just due to the color and layout. I'd say that this one gets to me, or this shot. These colors are so wonderful, honestly. All right, those are my first thoughts. Should we check the more images? Let me know which one was your favorite from what we've seen. Like, you don't. It doesn't have to be from a very specific um, specific area. Like, oh, this one was the best in terms of camera, and this one was the best in terms of vocal performance, and this one was the best. Just your overall like favorite performance that you saw today. Let me know which that one is. Surprised Groot didn't pick up on the vocals for Finland. Let's listen. Let's listen. I mean, it's still early days rehearsal. I usually are very. I don't usually pay too much attention to that when we just have rehearsals. It's just the backing vocals are pretty loud, and he's not that loud. But I mean, the vocals don't really pierce through the soundstage that much in this performance. But I don't think it's an issue. Where the thing that we might be, what's it called, like not skeptical, but where we might be a bit curious as to how it's going to sound is probably like the more melodic section towards the end when the vocal really takes over. That's probably when we can actually start considering if it's an issue or not. But I don't think it sounds particularly bad here. So yeah. Um, Finland had mic issues. Yeah, I wouldn't panic. It's still rehearsals. I don't think it's an issue. I mean, it's also a very particular vocal style here. I mean, we kind of it's a new phenomenon altogether, really, in terms of that. So we have to remember that Karia doesn't have need to sing much. Yeah, really, kind of fair. It's mostly like towards the end where I think we can actually consider if it's going to be an issue or not. Should we check some images just to finalize this? I'm not going to be sticking around way too much on every image, but we can just see some new stuff that we've got. I guess for the images, we can make sure that we move the screen again so you can see it a bit clearer, I guess. So let's move it something like that, I guess. Of course, like the lighting on Norway looked good. The red works here as well. It's not really like we have many new types of shots. It's mostly what we've seen already, but maybe we can get some new part of the song that we haven't really seen, but it doesn't really seem like it. It seems like most of these sections are really from the parts that we've seen from the song. This is very effective. The blue works really well. I also like that the fact that it's actually blue. It's not this gray white kind of gradient of blue. This one goes all out blue, and that's actually like it becomes colorful due to it, I'd say. Um, Effective like pose here as well, really utilizing highlights and shadows. Not getting a lot of new stuff from the shots here on Norway, but they're nice shots. I think yeah, it looks good. This is a good shot as well from a camera perspective. But yeah, looks good. Let's see. Do we have something new in Malta that we didn't really expect to see? I mean, we've seen really everything from it, but let's see if there are some parts of the song that we haven't seen any images from. Got a different backdrop here, right? All of these like not stars, but what's it called? Like just lights all over in a bit of different shades of yellow and red and orange. I don't think we've seen that before from this one. We've mostly just seen this massive backdrop of the globe, like the Saturn-like planet. Um, yeah, just like this concept with the car as well. It's fun. Wait. So who's gonna playing the drums when he's driving the car? Cheeky. I'd like to see when he moves from the drums to the car, but they're probably gonna shout or like shy away from that with camera cuts, and he's gonna sneak back to the car. Wait, he's got wait. What even is that? I see that it's a cat, but what's going on with this cat? Is he crying or what? What are these? Fascinating. All right, let's see what's next. Serbia. Let's see what they got. Yeah, it's very similar to what we've seen before. Nice shot with the shadows, I'd say. Like the red. There's a lot of red in this performance, but it's only gonna be towards the end, right? They're gonna focus on the blue mostly. I say right, like as if anyone would know because we haven't seen the whole thing in full. But I'm assuming that it's gonna be mostly blue and then just red for the final part of the song when it really kicks into gear there at the end. Um, it's a very pleasant lighting. This is intriguing. Like this is early on in the song, of course, but the fact that it's like it starts off like this, I'm assuming, like just completely scaled down to only white and black, and well, there's a little bit of like green blue tones at the bottom there, but then it becomes like this very kind of magical setting, I guess, a very night-like and actually lit up from like starlight and a blue tone to it, which looks quite decent. I want to see it in full. I want to see everything in full, of course, but yeah, some I'm more excited about than others for sure, and Serbia is one of those. Okay, let's see Latvia. What do we have here? Yeah, nice. Also, we didn't mention, but they got their real clothes now, right? They actually have the clothes that they're gonna have on stage, and I particularly like his jacket thing. I'm not sure what these are supposed to be, just hanging here in the middle, but the colors match very well. Looks good. Great shot. Love how the spots are like directing outwards, and the yellow is just the central part. Two lone spots on him. Nice. Uh, it's good lighting. Lovely warm tones in this. Yeah, of course the backdrop. Wait, is they're actually gonna incorporate clips of like bass and I guess guitar as well. Like the bass is being shown on the LED. Did not expect that. Uh, wow, that's a good shot. I like that. Wait, Luke Black rehearsing Samo Misespava? What are you doing? This is not Luke Black. I'm sorry, but what? But what a shot! Oh my! Just the symmetry of it as well, and how they're actually placed between one, like behind one or in front of one of the lamps, and these lovely like orange tones at the bottom, along with the lamps and him central. This shot I really like. That's a great image. All right, Portugal. Don't really get much from this, but we get some charisma. That's something. Staging wise, I'm just mostly disappointed by anything. I'm not sure if we're gonna have a lot from this one. Of course, the opening, like this is good, and of course we saw from the clips yesterday, the opening was really effective. How it was completely shut down in terms of light and how it gradually appeared on stage as she started singing. Nice touches there. Um, nice use of the spots here as well. This is for some specific part of the song, I'm sure. That's really gonna be central or focused on her, and it's an effective way to just kind of put all of the attention on her. I like this. I like how it's several spots as well, so that it becomes a very what do you call it? Like you get the shape that it's wide at the top and narrow at the bottom. I don't know how to explain it, but it's nice. A nice shape to it. Um, yeah, and then all of the red. Not really getting like a lot of color contrast in these parts. Like they're dressed in red. Everything is red in the background. We have these parts with the white, but it's a lot of red, and it's not that interesting in my opinion in terms of that. It's a pretty high. No, it's not that high definition. I just thought that it looked pretty crisp, but no. Yeah, Portugal's not really my thing. I gotta say, I'm not impressed with the performance, or the performance I am, but the layout of it, I guess. Ireland, yeah, I'm sure they got some pretty good shots with the pyro and everything. This is a nice shot from like below as well. Gives a nice perspective. Maybe too much of the roof is being shown here, I guess, but other than that, it's nice. It's neat. All right, all right. Yeah, these shots are not giving me that much, honestly. Mm. Oh, I didn't even realize his keyboard was completely covered in glitter and gold or whatever. Um, yeah, this shot's probably better than that one, right? Or maybe, I don't know. Nah, nah, this one's better. Whatever. Ireland doesn't really have like we've seen everything from Ireland. What we can expect. Oh my god, what is this? You know what? I could have gone to bed tonight without having seen this. Really. Okay, people are lying on the floor, some kind of massive thing going. I see an image that's coming up soon. Hmm. Yeah, it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I like these faces in the background. That's a fun detail to the performance as well. And of course, like the silly little choreography they got going for them. Um, yeah. Well, they're doing something with the silhouettes as well. I didn't even realize. All right, yeah. Let's leave that one where it is. Uh, okay. Switzerland. Do we have some cool shots? I mean, we've kind of seen what to expect. I want to see more of those like purple and yellow tones that we saw from the images, well, a few days ago. We haven't seen blue from this performance before, have we? Did we see blue shots last time? Like, it would be nice if they actually swap up the colors a little bit, like throughout the performance from different shades. Like, obviously, the red is what we're gonna associate the performance with, but it would be cool if there's both like blue and we have that purple part as well, like how it actually alters throughout. Um, nice with the fog as well here. I like it. Oh yeah, they were gonna do something along around his waist as well. They were gonna be tied to him or something. I forgot about that. Yeah, the lighting is spectacular here. Yeah, Switzerland looks good. Switzerland looks really good. Israel. Yeah, some glittery tones here. A lot of spots from the blue here. It's a bit weird, like looking at this image because it's not really like that aesthetic, I guess, because of the tipping aspect of the cube, so that it looks a bit strange with how these are not symmetrically aligned. All of the spots behind, like in contrast with the shape and the camera. Um, with the dance break there. If like I thought the dance break had a different color. Like maybe I didn't pay attention enough. I thought the dance break was gonna have a different color, but it didn't. Or maybe it changed it throughout as well. Not getting a lot from these images. Getting more from this one. Wow, completely red in the background, some pink in here, and she's completely upside down. Is she inside the cube here, or is it just a visual trap for me? Maybe she's outside of it and they're helping her do the flip or whatnot. It's quite nice how they're laid out on stage like this as well. And the cube is actually central behind. Kind of gives it a visual appeal to it. I also kind of like how she's tipped a little bit to the side as well, which kind of is just enhanced by the cube behind it. It's a nice shot. I'm not getting a much from this shot. Her hair is covering everything, so oh, some silhouette of course as well. Yeah, effective. Very like distinct lighting behind, of course. It just kind of elevates the drama of this shot. And more dance break stuff. All right. Yeah, Israel was good as well today. Um, what's next? Moldova. Yeah, I'll expect some good shots from Moldova, of course. We got some blue in this shot. I figured like last time we saw the images, most of it was just red, 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 but really good, you know. Nice, really nice backdrop. Also fun how they actually play around with the performance and do different tricks throughout as well, or not tricks, but like they actually play around with the concept of everything. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, I'm liking the tones of this a lot. I think Moldova is a real standout this year. It flies a bit under the radar, doesn't it? I'd say at least. Um, yeah, like lovely, like the color tones of everything. It's really lovely. And of course, like this kind of how they go together and create shape. It's nice touches here and there. Moldova looks good. Sweden, ooh, I like the lighting here. This darker tone might actually be something that Sweden should go for instead of having like this dusty tone to it, like the darker with this gray and black tone. Actually, I'm more fond of that. Could just be like some color correction on the camera, and you don't really have to change anything. But I'm liking the tones of this more. I think anyway. On the red here, like this is more, more warmth in this shot. It's also kind of neat. Maybe you just like do some color correcting on the camera for the performance, or in post. Could actually like change the tone of the performance altogether, and actually like maybe make it click a bit more. I don't know. It's entirely blue here as well. Very cold tone to this. This is a neat shot. I'm very fond of this, of the tone in this. Azerbaijan, not getting a lot. Like, we know the colors are wonderful. Also love the blue and yellow, of course, as well. I forgot about that. But yeah, the colors are actually going to change throughout. That's wonderful. And then we got the red and the purple, of course. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it in blue and yellow as well, of course. It's a wonderful combination of color as well. And then we have this purple and yellow as well. This looks really neat. I'm very fond of Azerbaijan. I think they staged it really well. I'm very, very fond of Azerbaijan. I'm rooting for them now. Like, I've always enjoyed the song, but I think they perform it really well. I'm rooting for them. Czechia, more pink here than we saw from the clip. Like, the clip was mostly just white in the backdrop. Here we actually have the pink and the red tones in it. Which I think I need to see more of, because the kind of color style that they went for in the performance, it became very much about just a few colors. This is a bit of a strange shot. Not really getting a lot from this. I mean, I can see that they're at the very bottom, but yeah, this is strange. Not giving a lot from this one. It's like focusing on the roof for some reason. Also like this part, like how they actually stand around in a circle with their backs to each other. Hope the camera is doing some kind of movement around them to actually incorporate like this feeling of like the circle that's. I'm not sure if it's like supposed to unite or divide, or but it's, you know, just small like details like this to actually work with the movement on stage. I think the camera needs to work in tandem with that. Nice tones of red here from the spots. It's also a nice like image, like the imagery of this. And of course, this is the shot from what we saw from the clips. It's a lot of just like very flat out colors here, very contrasting to each other. And due to the fact that it wasn't really like an intense shift in the colors, because I like the distinction between colors, but it needs to be a bit more engaging and intense to actually make it work, I'd say. Like, it doesn't really work with just repeated animations and kind of flat out slow movements between them to actually make it interesting when you just rely on solid colors interacting with each other. We'll see about Czechia. Netherlands had a few cool ideas with the shots for sure, particularly when they're away from each other, I'd say. Works better when the backdrop is actually more minuscule than when it just goes really grand like that. Yeah, these shots are not that interesting, I gotta say. There's some nice lighting on this one. I also like how the smoke is lit up at the bottom, and they're kind of becoming like semi-silhouettes, I guess. But yeah, overall, these shots are not really that interesting to me. Sorry. Moving on to Finland. Sorry, I feel like Netherlands is just being overshadowed here, but I'm simply not really that impressed with what they've come up with for the performance. Let's have this just looking out of the box like that. I'm very reliant on black in the backdrop here. Yeah, it's a nice like contrast in the colors here as well with the green and the pink, of course. I love how they actually like expanded on the wooden box to really like push it over the line. Okay, the dance is back. I can see the concept of it. Okay, good. Good to see that they kept it. Like this poisonous kind of tone of green as well. It's nice. It's a nice touch. Just kind of trying to imagine where everything is going to fit in. I want to see this performance in full, of course. Like this is the one that I probably want to see the most as a full package. Also really fun with like these kind of, I guess the rainbow kind of thing going on with all of the colors here. I'm hoping that they're going to shift like the lights, like there's going to be a gradual movement in it to actually give it some intensity, and it's just not just going to be static like this lighting. I hope for some movement going on with the backdrop here for the lights. But yeah, images didn't really give too much like additional. I don't think we got too much of something that we didn't see from the clips or we haven't seen from the images before. But we got to see some more of Let 3 in underwear. So you're all welcome if you wanted that. I think that's gonna do it for today's session. If you missed the any part of it, you can just go back. I'll leave the clip up on my channel. Maybe it's gonna get taken down in the future. I don't know. We know how copyright works, but I hope that it's not. So be sure to go back on during the stream if you want to see something talked about before while you still can, because we never know. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed sticking around with me today. Of course, we get more rehearsals tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get around to those as well. I hope that it's not gonna be equally late that they're gonna release them, but it probably will be. So I guess I'm ready for that. But yeah, I hope you will join me for the next stream whenever it occurs. If it's gonna be tomorrow or if I have to do it the day afterwards, we'll see. But thank you for joining me today, and I will leave you now. And if you're from Europe, you should go to sleep because I'm gonna do it. And if you're not from Europe, well, enjoy the rest of your day or good morning to you, I guess. So yeah, I hope to see you soon again, and yeah, bye for now.